हेलो फ्रेंड्स एंड वेलकम टू ज्ञान गंगा क्लासेस। और आज हम लेकर के आए हैं आपके लिए क्लासेस साइंस चैप्टर नंबर 9 बॉडी मूवमेंट्स। इस वीडियो में मैं इसके सारे कंसेप्ट्स को एक्सप्लेन करते हुए आई विल एक्सप्लेन दिस होल चैप्टर इन ए वेरी इजी लैंग्वेज जो कि आपको इजीली अंडरस्टैंड और आपके सारे कंसेप्ट्स इससे क्लियर हो सके। तो मेक श्योर आप इस वीडियो को स्टार्टिंग से एंड तक पूरा देखिएगा बिना स्किप किए। और आपको अगर ये वीडियो पसंद आए तो इसे लाइक और हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करके बेल आइकन ज़रूर दबा दीजिएगा। तो लेट अस सी व्हाट वी विल कवर टुडे। लोकोमोशन एंड मूवमेंट। लोकोमोशन क्या होता है, मूवमेंट क्या होती है, इसके बारे में जानेंगे। Skeletal system. We will also understand about the skeletal system. Human skeletons and bones. Humans में कितने कैसे skeleton का structure होता है, उसमें bones क्या होती हैं, what they do, and everything about it. We will learn about joints. We will also learn about कौन-कौन से joints होते हैं. Then about the gaits of animals. अलग अलग तरीके के animals में उनकी specifications, उनकी adaptations and everything. Okay? तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं आज का ये वीडियो with the locomotion and movement. So we have here two images. आप देख रहे हो इसमें क्या है, someone is walking and this is someone is blinking his eyes. तो जो ये फर्स्ट है इसमें ही इज वॉकिंग, ही इज स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम वन पॉइंट एंड गोइंग टू अनदर पॉइंट, दैट इज नोन एज लोकोमोशन। और ब्लिंकिंग हिज आईज जस्ट अ मूवमेंट, इट इज ऑल्सो अ मूवमेंट बट इट इज नॉट टेकिंग एनी डिस्टेंस, not uncovering any gap or not walking like thing. It is like sitting and you can blink your eyes, that is also a movement. So that is called just a movement. And the locomotion is a movement where we cover a distance. So we can say that locomotion is the movement of an organism from one place to another, and movement is the when organism remains in the same place but the part of body moves, then it is movement. Difference समझ आया? Movement can be any movement. Okay, the movement specifically here refers to the organism when the organism remains in the same position but the part of body moves, then it is movement. And locomotion, the movement of an organism from one place to another, it is locomotion. Every living being move with the help of bones and structure. हर living being कैसे move करता है? with the help of its bones. उसके bones, उसका structure कैसा बना है, उसी के help के through वो movement show करता है. Okay? Either it is movement or it is locomotion, everything. तो skeletal system. Skeletal system क्या होता है? This is the human skeleton as you can see. So it is the living beings move with the help of bones and muscles. यही हमने अभी पढ़ा, with the help of bones and the structure. तो bones में they include muscle also sometimes, and bone is linked with the muscle. So bone and muscles, it is like a combination. It is like a combination that they both work together to make the living beings move. Okay? The framework of bones gives the body a shape. आप ये देख सकते हो यहाँ इमेज में भी कैसे ये बोन्स का एक फ्रेमवर्क है जिसके थ्रू एक बॉडी को ये पूरा शेप मिला है. It is joined, it is here, then the shape is linked here. So this is a framework of bone. With the framework of a bone, body gets its shape. This framework is known as skeleton, and this whole system is skeletal system. So this framework of a bone through which the body gets a shape is called a skeleton or skeletal system. So let us understand about the different types of skeleton. One is endoskeleton. There are two types. First is endoskeleton. The organisms when having skeleton inside their body are called endoskeleton. Look at this bird here. आपको ऊपर से क्या दिख रहा है? They are fur. और ये आप अगर इसको टच करोगे तो आपको फर पहले फेदर्स होंगे. फेदर्स जो है आपको वो टच होगा तो उससे क्या यू विल फील इट इज़ वेरी सॉफ्ट, इट इज़ वेरी स्मूथ टेक्सचर. मतलब बोन्स आपको डायरेक्टली फील नहीं होंगी और विंग्स में तो और भी नहीं. On the body also there are feathers. So, but it is also having a skeletal system. Birds are also having the skeletal system. कहाँ पे? Inside their body, not outside. बाहर से टच करने पे we get very soft feeling. So, we can say this is an endoskeleton organism. The organism which have the skeleton inside their body are called endoskeleton. Endo inside. इनसाइड दियर बॉडी, जिनके इनसाइड में स्केलेटन होता है उसे क्या कहते हैं? एंडोस्केलेटन ऑर्गेनिज्म. एग्जाम्पल बर्ड्स, कैट्स, फिश एटसेट्रा. आई होप आपको क्लियर हो रहा होगा कि एंडोस्केलेटन मीन्स इनसाइड द बॉडी. एंड नेक्स्ट टाइप इज एक्सोस्केलेटन. एक्सोस्केलेटन मीन्स द ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैविंग द स्केलेटन आउटसाइड दियर बॉडी. उनकी बॉडी अलग है एंड उसके ऊपर एज अ यू कैन से एज अ अम्ब्रेला और एज ए गार्ड द skeleton of the body is outside. Or you can just look at the image here of this cockroach or this beetle here. You can see that they have special hard parts over their body to protect themselves. So this hard part is their skeleton. So this is outside. Body is below it, so it is outside the body. So it is exoskeleton. Exoskeleton organism is having the skeleton outside their body. उसको आप टच करोगे वो हार्ड फील करेगा. एंड दिस ये क्यों होता है? बिकॉज दिस हेल्प्स टू प्रोटेक्ट दियर ऑर्गेनिजम्स. ओके, सो दे हैव द skeleton outside the body. Example, crabs, prawns, cockroaches, turtles, they all have the skeleton above it, next to it. Okay, so they are the exoskeleton organism. Clear है? Endoskeleton, exoskeleton. Now, human skeleton and bones. स्केलेटल सिस्टम इन ह्यूमंस. अब ह्यूमंस के बारे में बात करते हैं. अच्छा, आप ये बताओ कमेंट्स में कि ह्यूमन क्या है, एक्सोस्केलेटन ऑर्गेनिज्म और एंडोस्केलेटन ऑर्गेनिज्म. तो नाउ लेट अस लर्न अबाउट द स्केलेटल सिस्टम. तो ह्यूमन स्केलेटल सिस्टम इज मेड अप ऑफ 206 बोन्स. ह्यूमन स्केलेटल सिस्टम में कितनी बोन्स हैं? 206. बोन्स आर हार्ड इनफ्लेक्सिबल पार्ट्स ऑफ आवर बॉडी. और बोन्स क्या होती है? बोन्स आर हार्ड एंड इनफ्लेक्सिबल पार्ट. इनफ्लेक्सिबल मतलब जो कि फ्लेक्सिबल नहीं है, जो कि वी कैन नॉट जस्ट पुल एंड स्ट्रेच एंड एवरीथिंग, यू कैन नॉट जस्ट फोल्ड इट. दे आर द हार्ड स्ट्रक्चर्स, दे आर द हार्ड पार्ट्स दैट आर इनफ्लेक्सिबल पार्ट्स ऑफ आवर बॉडी. ओके, ऑल्सो कंसिस्ट ऑफ कार्टिलेज. स्केलेटल सिस्टम में बोन्स के अलावा क्या होता है? कार्टिलेज. तो बोन्स skeletal system is made up of bones and cartilage. Skeletal system in human have 206 bones and bones are the hard inflexible part of the body. Clear है आपको ये points human body skeleton के बारे में? चलिए आगे देखते हैं कि what are cartilages. Cartilage क्या होता है? Cartilage is the strong and flexible tissue seen at the end of bones. Cartilage क्या है? Suppose this is a bone. You are seeing here it is a bone, and on the both sides of this bone it has strong and flexible tissue attached to it. That is the cartilage. What is cartilage? The strong, very strong, and the flexible, जो कि उसी से होती है ना. Bones तो flexible नहीं है, but they show movement. How? With the help of cartilage. Because cartilage is a strong, flexible tissue that is seen attached to the end of bones. Okay? Why are attached to the bones? Because it acts like cushion between the bones to reduce the friction between them. Cartilage is a cushion between the bones. जैसे दो बोन है, उसके बीच यहाँ पे there is a gap. That gap is filled with cartilage of both the bones. Okay, so that cartilage helps to reduce the friction between the bones and keeps them healthy. Okay, it acts like a cushion, and it is also, you can see, if you touch your nose, you can see there is a hard part, but here in the skeletal system, there is no bone to the nose. So, or to the ears also, see, there is no big part to the ears. So, if you touch your ears, the top portion, or your nose, you can see it is just getting pressed, but if you press it too hard, the inside there is some hard thing that you feel. That hole is made up of cartilage. Okay, this everything, this over under the skin, it is all made up of cartilage, and same with the ears. In the top portion of ears, the cartilage is present. The whole ear also you can just feel, and you can simply twist and turn your ears. You can see it just moves so flexible. So there is no bone present over in the upper part, in the extra part of the ear, and in the top part of the nose, they all are made up of cartilage. And what is cartilage? It is a flexible and strong tissue, and that is present in between at the end of bones, and it acts like a cushion to reduce the friction between the bones. Okay, it also helps in the movement. So now let us see the function of the skeletal system. Skeletal system, अगर हम बात करते हैं तो क्या है? It includes both cartilage and bones. The function is to provide shape and support to the body. ये देख ही रहे हो, ये पूरा skeletal system से हमको एक body का shape मिल रहा है, और यही body को पूरा support करता है to stand, to sit, to walk, everything. This gives a structure. Okay, so skeletal system provides shape and support to the body. It also, along with muscular system, it helps in the movement and locomotion. साथ में किसके साथ मिल गए? मस्कुलर सिस्टम के साथ मिल करके इट ऑल्सो हेल्प इन दी मूवमेंट एंड लोकोमोशन ऑफ द बॉडी. इट प्रोटेक्ट्स सॉफ्ट एंड इंटीग्रल ऑर्गन्स फ्रॉम डैमेज. और इस बोन्स हमारे अंदर के सॉफ्ट ऑर्गन्स लाइक स्टमक है, लीवर है, लंग्स, हार्ट, ब्रेन, इन सबको प्रोटेक्ट करता है फ्रॉम डैमेज. ओके, एंड it also helps in the blood cell protection. Skeletal system के 4 functions समझ आए. It provides shape and support to the body. क्या करता है? बॉडी को शेप देता है, सपोर्ट करता है. Along with the muscular system, helps in the movement and locomotion. Muscular system के along वो हमको movement में help करता है, locomotion करने में help करता है. It also protects the soft and integral organs of our body from damage. वो हमारे soft integral organs को भी protect करता है and helps in do the blood cell protection. तो blood cells produce करता है. Okay, blood cells कहाँ produce होती हैं? In the backbone. आगे आप पढ़ेंगे when we will be reading the parts of the skeletal system. So लेकिन अभी आपको बता दें कि इसके ये 4 फंक्शंस होते हैं. चलिए, आई होप आपको क्लियर है. कोई डाउट हो तो हमें कमेंट सेक्शन में ज़रूर कमेंट्स करिएगा, और अगर वीडियो पसंद आ रही है तो हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करके बेल आइकन दबा दीजिए. तो ये देखिए, we have this diagram of skeletal system here. This, the head part, this face part is known as skull. This is a skull. This a cage kind like of thing that we have on the chest part below the shoulder. This cage like thing is known as rib cage. Now this whole set of long bone, it is a backbone. समझ आए? Face पे skull. This on the chest part we have this cage thing known as rib cage. The back part of a long bone is backbone. And these both, the hand पे जो bone आता है and the legs one, these are the limbs. Clear है? The parts of the skeletal system, we have 4 parts: skull, rib cage, backbone and limbs. So let us start with a skull. चलिए skull के बारे में जानते हैं. This part of skeleton system is skull. It is made up of 22 bones. How many bones? 22 bones का ये बना है. It is made up of 22 bones which are joined together as a complete structure. आपको bones या individual नहीं दिख रही है. You are seeing a big bony structure. So these 22 bones are just so much joined in a hard structure as a complete one structure. But this is basically made up of 22 bones inside. Okay, we cannot just dismantle it, but we can understand if we notice a real structure, a real skull, and in a very deep way, we can understand that it is made up of 22 bones. Our scientist has noticed it. So now the human head consists of 8 bones that form a brain box. This is the brain box where our brain is saved, and that brain box is made up of 8 bones. It helps to protect our brain. It protects our brain. That which part of the skull protects our brain? Brain box protects our brain. Okay. Rest 14 bones are the part of facial region. आपका यहाँ तक में तो कितने हो गए? 8 bones हो गए. तो 22 में से बचे 14. The 14 bones, rest 14 bones are the part of facial expression, that it covers space of eyes. These cover the space for mouth, the lower jaw and everything. Okay. So skull में कितने bones हुई? 22 parts. So 22 bones make up skull. The human head consists 8 bones that makes brain box. इसको क्या बोलेंगे? Cranium भी बोलते हैं. Brain box और cranium. It protects our brain. Rest 14 bones are the part of facial region. Lower jaw is the mandible. Lower jaw, इसको क्या बोलते हैं? Mandible. We first know the one part that this is the brain box. Okay. And the lower jaw is known as mandible. That is the only movable part. अगर आप ध्यान से देखो अपने आप में कि when you talk, when you eat and everything, only one part of the skull of your face moves. That is your lower jaw. Not anything else. Everything is still, and only the lower jaw moves. That lower jaw is known as mandible. Okay. So this is the part of mandible, and the skull is also has the bony cavities. These bony cavities are known as eye sockets. These are the eye sockets. This is known as, and the head part, the brain box is known as, इसको आप क्या कह सकते हैं? इसको आप brain box भी कह सकते हैं और cranium. This is known as cranium. The cavities are known as, in the skull that have cavity in the skull are known as eye sockets. Okay. And the lower jaw part is known as mandible. Clear है? क्या क्या बोला हमने? We know the part of the skeleton as a skull, the face part, and that face part में भी हमने जाने 3 parts skull के, और हमने ये भी जाना कि these are the cavities known as eye sockets. The only moving part is mandible in the skull. The whole skull is made up of 22 bones, where the 8 bones made up the cranium, that is the brain box, and the rest 14 bones are used in the facial expression. Okay? Clear है? चलिए अब आगे जानते हैं about the next part, that is rib cage. You can see this structure. It looks like a cage structure. It is a set of flat bones. क्या है ये? These are the flat bones on the chest is the rib cage. A set of flat bones that on the chest is the rib cage. It consists of 12 pairs. It consists of 12 pairs of, or you can say 24 curved bones. It consists of कितनी bones? 12 pairs or 24 curved bones. That makes a rib. That makes rib cage, and these 24 curved bones or 12 pairs of curved bones are known as ribs. These are known as ribs, and this whole make a cage like thing that is known as rib cage, that is present in the chest. Ribs are attached to a flat bone in the chest called sternum. This is, you can see a flat bone here. This flat bone is known as sternum, and every bone, each bone is attached to the flat bone on the chest. Okay, this is sternum, and these all are attached to the flat bone in the chest, to the sternum in the chest, and then they curve back and they just connect to the vertebral column at back. ये पीछे, अगर इस पीछे की जो बैक बोन है, आप आगे पढ़ोगे, अभी आपने पढ़ा था फर्स्ट टाइप पे द बैक बोन, so that the ribs attach in the front, attached to the sternum, that is the flat bone in the chest, and in the back they attach to the backbone of the body like this. You can see here it is attached to the backbone. Then you can also see these two last pairs. ये जो दोनों pair of ribs हैं, these two last pair of ribs are only attached to the backbone. So they are known as floating ribs. इनको क्या बोलते हैं? इनको बोलते हैं floating ribs. क्यों? क्योंकि ये दोनों सामने, तो ये दोनों do not get attached to sternum. They are only attached to the backbone of the body and they float. So they are looking like a floating rib. So that is, they are known as floating ribs. Okay. And this rib cage, a brain box or cranium that was in the skull. The skull was protecting which part of our body? Brain. Now ribs protect which part, which organ of our body? They protect lungs and heart. Ribs में हमारे lungs और heart दोनों ही यहाँ पे protect रहते हैं in this rib cage. Okay? Clear है? आपने भी rib cage के बारे में जो भी पढ़ा, 12 pair or 24 bones grouped together, connected at the sternum in front of the chest and backbone at the back of the body. This make a rib cage. Individually they are known as ribs, and the two pairs of ribs at the bottom that are only attached to the backbone of the body are known as floating ribs. They protect the lungs and heart. Now next part is limbs. So limbs, basically we have two types of limbs. The arms or the hands of our body are known as forelimbs, and the legs are the hind limbs. Each limb has 3 long bones and several small bones. दोनों ही केस में, चाहे वो आर्म लिम्ब यानी फोर लिम्ब या लेग्स की यानी कि हिंड लिम्स की बात हो रही हो, each of these have 3 long bones and several small bones. Okay. Now let us talk about forelimbs first. तो ये है हमारी forelimb का structure. You can see 1 long bone and these are the 2 small bones in the lower part of the arm. Okay, upper part is having 1 strong bone and the lower part is having 2 long bones. Then the finger and wrist are having so many different small bones. Forelimbs में the upper part, the upper arm long bone is known as humerus. This bone is known as humerus, and the radius and ulna are the lower bone arms. Okay, bones in the lower arms. These both 1 and 2, these are the radius and ulna, and humerus is the bone on the upper part. Clear? Now let us talk about hind limbs. Hind limbs क्या है? It supports the whole weight of our body, help us stand, walk, run. Our legs help us to support the whole. When we walk, we stand, we run, they support our whole body. So they help in the movement. And also our forelimbs have help in our movements of eating, working, reading, and everything. What we do, when we talk, when we move our hands, our limbs are helping us to move. Same with the hind limbs. When we walk, run, and stand, or do many kind of motions, we use our hind limbs. The hind limbs में क्या है? The femur. Femur is the upper part bone. It is the largest bone of our body. Femur is the largest bone of our body. It is a single bone and it covers the largest part of our body. So this is the femur bone. Okay, it is present in the upper part of the leg, and in the lower part of the leg there are two bones called tibia and fibula. Arms में याद करो, arms में क्या पढ़े थे? The upper part is humerus and lower part was having radius and ulna, and here the upper part is femur and the lower part in the leg is tibia and fibula. Okay, clear है? समझ आया इन सारे parts का? Now we have backbone. Backbone, उसका structure कुछ ऐसे दिखता है. So it is also known as a spine. इसको backbone भी कह सकते हो, इसको spine भी कह सकते हो. Or you can also say vertebral column. It is attached to skull base and run along the back of the body. आप देख सकते हो ये हमारा कहाँ से शुरू होता है? Below the neck. It is attached from the skull ka base and then it goes all over to the waist, to the backbone, to the pelvic bone of the body. So this is a complete backbone. It is made up of 33 small bones. Each are known as vertebra. ये है तो longest area cover करता है. It covers whole back of our body, but it is made up of 33 small bones. That is why upper leg का जो part आता है, that is femur, it is the single bone which is such a long bone. That is why it is the longest bone of our body, not the backbone. Okay, and the backbone is made up of 33 small bones, each known as vertebrae, and this whole is known as vertebral column. Okay, and this main function is to support the spinal cord and body. That is why it is known as spine. क्या बोलते हैं इसको? Spine कहते हैं. Why? It protects the spinal cord inside. Okay, it helps us stand upright, provide us support. Okay. Due to backbone only we can stand upright. We can stand straight. So इसका भी आपको फंक्शन और इसके पार्ट्स आपको समझ आए होंगे. आई होप. चलिए अब इसके साथ हम बात करेंगे जॉइंट्स की. तो व्हाट आर जॉइंट्स? The joints are the part of bones which allow movement and flexibility. ये bones तो are the hard structure. Joints are the part of bones that allow the movement and flexibility. जिनके थ्रू हम मूवमेंट कर सकते हैं. दैट आर बेसिकली जॉइंट्स. एज इट से जॉइंट मतलब दो चीज जुड़ा होगा, दो चीजें आर ज्वाइनिंग. तो जॉइंट्स आर द प्लेसेस वेयर द टू बोन्स ज्वाइन और टू बोन्स मीट. समझ आया? जॉइंट्स क्या हुए? जॉइंट्स आर द प्लेसेस ऑफ द बॉडी वेयर टू बोन्स मीट. आप जैसे यहाँ देख रहे हो, दिस शोल्डर पार्ट, दिस इज अनदर बोन, अभी हमने पढ़ा था, और ये हमारी शोल्डर की अलग बोन है. तो these both bones are joining here. That is, it is a joint. क्लियर है? सो इसी तरीके से अलग अलग टाइप के जॉइंट्स होते हैं जो हमारे पूरी बॉडी में अलग अलग जगह मौजूद होते हैं. At joints, bones are held together with the help of tissue called ligament. हमने पहले क्या पढ़ा था skeletal system में कि all bones have a tissue attached to the end of it, that is the cartilage that protects the bone from getting friction. Okay, so वो अलग है. और जो movement provide करने वाला tissue that is attached to the joints are known as ligament. यहाँ पे bone में joint के साथ में यहाँ पे ligament भी होता है, the tissue which helps in the holding the bones together. Now you can say the joints are of two types, three types, immovable, slightly movable and freely movable. तो मतलब कैसे? Immovable मतलब वो parts that are, वो joints that are fixed joints that do not move. Slightly movable are the, पहले immovable के बारे में बात कर लेते हैं कि these are the fixed joints. These do not move. Basically in your head, जो main हमारा immovable joint in our body पाया जाता है, that is in our head, in our brain box. It protects our, what it protects? It protects our brain, the integral soft organ. And अभी हमने पढ़ा था कि ब्रेन बॉक्स इज मेड अप ऑफ 8 बोन्स. तो 8 बोन्स कहीं ना कहीं तो ज्वाइन हुई होंगी किसी न किसी ज्वाइंट के थ्रू. सो दैट ज्वाइंट इज इमूवेबल ज्वाइंट. नाउ नेक्स्ट इज द स्लाइटली मूवेबल, दैट इज इट अलाउज स्लाइट मूवमेंट्स, जिसमें थोड़ी मूवमेंट हो सकती, फ्रीली नहीं हो सकते, हर तरीके से नहीं मूव कर सकते, बट दे कैन मूव स्लाइटली. इट ऑल्सो प्रोवाइड्स फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी टू द बॉडी एंड सपोर्ट. And next is the freely movable, that are the movements, that joints that allow movements for our body. Okay, it helps to perform various functions. अच्छा, मैंने ये दोनों के बारे में बताया, इससे दिमाग में कुछ आया कि कौन कौन से पार्ट पे हो सकते हैं स्लाइटली मूवेबल joints और कहाँ पे freely movable? Just move your body a little and you will understand. See, slightly movable can be present in your feet. You can just move it somehow, not all over. And freely movable are present in your hands, in your forelimbs and your hind limbs, in your neck. So these all are the parts of joints of our body that helps us to do the movement. Okay. Next, understand them one by one. First is ball and socket joint. Ball and socket joint, these are the round ball-like end of the body that is freely fit into the cavity or socket of the other bone. क्या हुआ? आप जैसे यहाँ पे देखो, this is the ball part of our body, round part, round or ball-like structure of the end of a bone that is fit into the hole or cavity or socket that of the other bone. इसका हमको यहाँ मिला एक hole, इसके अंदर ये बोन का राउंड पार्ट जाकर के फिट हो गया. दैट मेक्स अ बॉल एंड सॉकेट ज्वाइंट. दिस काइंड ऑफ ज्वाइंट हेल्प अस इन मैक्सिमम मूवमेंट इन ऑल डायरेक्शन. इस टाइप के ज्वाइंट से हमें क्या है, मैक्सिमम मूवमेंट मिलती है. दैट इज, ये कैसा ज्वाइंट हुआ, ये हुआ फ्रीली मूवेबल ज्वाइंट. तो इसके हमको मैक्सिमम मूवमेंट मिल रही इन ऑल डायरेक्शन. हम किसी भी डायरेक्शन में मूव कर सकते हैं. जस्ट मूव योर हैंड, यू कैन रोटेट इट 360 डिग्री. So it is the maximum movement that you get. So the shoulder, this is the shoulder bone only, na? Shoulder and the forelimbs. The forelimbs get attached to the shoulder with the help of ball and socket joint. And this structure is of our thigh bones. That is the femur. Femur attached to the pelvic bone of the body. And this type of joint is also the ball and socket. You can say the bones, the femur joint in hip bone and the humerus joints, the shoulder bone, are the example of ball and socket joint. They helps in maximum movement. कैसे बना? एक बॉल, a ball-like structure or round structure of the end of the bone get freely fit into the hole or cavity or socket of the other bone. So ball and socket जुड़ गए, so that is the ball and socket joint. Next is the hinge bone joint. Hinge, it is made a joint that helps in the movement in a flat way, like a 180 degree to the maximum. We can ball and socket joint में we can do the 360 degree movement, and hinge joint में we can do the 180 degree movement. Like move your elbow. By that part you can just move it in a flat surface. You cannot move it 360 degree from elbow. You can move it 360 degree from shoulders, but not from the elbow. That is why we can say the hinge joint is present in the elbow. Same with your legs. Try to move it from the knee part. You can see, you can just move it to the straight or fold it or straight. So that is why it is a hinge joint. समझ आया कहाँ पे hinge joint present है? Knee and elbow are the example of hinge joint. See here, these are joined together like this, having a cap, and these are joined together here. These are the hinge joints. Help us to move in either up or down way or forward and backward way. इसी तरह से move कर सकते हैं in a to and fro motion, not in a 360 degree. तो hinge joint clear हुआ. It is a joint that helps us in move in a flat plane way or 180 degree, and it is the example is knee and elbow joint. Then fingers also and toes also have the hinge joint, because we can move it in a plain way only. Close them and open them up. So that is why it is also hinge joint. We cannot move 360 degree. Next is pivot joint. Pivot joint is basically present in the neck structure. Okay, it is a joint. Round end of the bone is fit to the ring-like structure made from the other bone. यहाँ पे क्या ये neck का जो part आ रहा है, this is joined to the head part, to the skull. How skull का एक ring बनता है, there the neck, round end of the neck is jointed, is fixed in. So in this joint, the round end of a bone is fixed to the ring-like structure made by the other bone. The bone with the round end is able to move and rotate over the other bone. आप try करो अपने neck को move करना. You can see neck is moving. The skull, our head, is also moving, but it is not moving from the joint. It is moving because it is fixed to that. So it moves as a whole part. What is basically moving is the neck. Okay, so the neck joint to the head to the skull is the example of pivot joint. Okay, or you can say the vertebral column, the backbone attached to the skull, is the pivot joint, and it helps in the movement of the neck. Okay, it allows turning of head sideways, to, fro. So it is also very freely, but it is the way, it is not the ball and socket. It is the pivot joint, where the round end of the bone attached to the ring structure made by the other bone. Okay, clear hai? Next is gliding joint. So what is gliding joint? The joint that allows movement in sliding the bone over one another. अच्छा, आप अपने hand को move करो from the wrist, like you are saying a goodbye or a hello to someone. So you are saying you can move the wrist in this direction in a sliding way. So that is the gliding joint. Same, move your toes from the ankle part. You can see it is just moving in a sliding way. It cannot move either to, fro, or either sideways. Same with the hand, either to, fro, or either sideways. So that is why it is a gliding joint. It helps the movement in a sliding way by sliding the bone over another. The joint and ankle are the The joints at ankle and wrist are the gliding joints. अभी हमने यही बात किया. This joint help in the to and fro movement and the movement sideways. आप तो जान गए कि ग्लाइडिंग जॉइंट क्या होता है. आई होप आपको सारे जॉइंट्स क्लियर हो चुके होंगे अब तक. ठीक है, और आपको ये अच्छी लग रही है वीडियो तो अपने व्यूज आप कमेंट्स में हमको बताइए, और कोई कंफ्यूजन है तो वो भी हमें बताइए. आई विल जस्ट सॉर्ट इट आउट. द गेट्स ऑफ एनिमल्स. अब एनिमल्स के बारे में जानते हैं. हाउ द मूवमेंट, हाउ द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ दीज एनिमल्स आर मेड. तो कुछ एनिमल्स के बारे में बात करेंगे. वी विल फर्स्ट टॉक अबाउट स्नेल. स्नेल इज अ structure, is an animal like this. So it is a slow moving animal. It have a hard shell structure to protect its body. So ये भी क्या है आपका, कौन सा एनिमल होगा, एंडो या एक्सो? Yes, it is the hard shell structure over its body. It protects the body, the soft body of snail. That is why this is an exoskeleton animal. It has two tentacles that contains the eyes and a small muscular foot. This. It is small but it is very strong. It is made up of strong tissues. Okay. This muscular foot help it to glide, and it move by with the help of that foot only. Okay. This in the foot has a gland that produce slimy substance, mucus, and with the help of mucus this snail is moving. तो आपने क्या जाना, इट इज एन एक्सोस्केलेटन एनिमल. इट स्लाइड्स, इट हेल्प्स विद द मूवमेंट ऑफ इट्स वन स्ट्रॉन्ग फूट, एंड देन स्ट्रॉन्ग फूट हैज अ ग्लैंड दैट प्रोड्यूस म्यूकस. म्यूकस, with the help of mucus, it moves smoothly even over the sharp edges or the hard surface, rough surfaces. Okay, it prevents the injury. That mucus is sliding, it's a very liquid, some kind of substance, so it helps, it saves his body parts. It prevents the injury to the body, okay, by reducing the friction. So इस वे में आपने अभी जाना स्नेल के बारे में. अब जानते हैं कॉकरोच के बारे में. तो कॉकरोच कौन सा एनिमल है, एंडो और एक्सो? एक्सोस्केलेटन अगेन. सो इट हैज द bone structure outside its body to protect its body. It has 3 pair of legs. It walks with these 3 pair of legs. It walks, it climb, it run. I think you have seen many times. So these are the strong claws at the end of the leg, help it to grip, having a great grip while climbing. इसी से वो गिरता नहीं है. Wings attached to the back of the cockroach helps it to fly short distances. And it has 3 pairs of legs. It moves by moving 3 legs at a time, not one side. It moves 3 legs like this. This is a 1 pair of leg that it moves. When it moves towards this, this also moves forward, this also moves forward. Then when it walks with this, in these 3 pairs, 3 legs at the pair, then when these moves together. Okay, कैसे मूव किया आपको ये भी, इसका स्ट्रक्चर भी समझ में आ गया. Now let us talk about snake. Snake is a reptile. You can see इसकी कोई तो हार्ड बोन आपको नहीं दिख रही. So it is an outside, so it is an endoskeleton animal. It has bone inside the body, and it is having just one vertebral column as its bone. और इसके no legs, no hands, so it moves by crawling on its belly. It is his belly part, and it moves like crawling on its belly. Okay, crawling movement कहते हैं उसको. It has the highly flexible backbone. हमारा backbone कितने पार्ट से बना था, कितने वर्टिब्रे से? 33. And the snake backbone is made up of 100 to 400 vertebrae columns. Okay, so it is the 100-400 vertebra connect together and make the snake backbone that is highly flexible. That is why they can move in a crawling way. So that is why they move in a wave-like manner. It is super connected, it is super flexible. That is why they move in a S manner or in a wave manner. Okay. This motion pushes the body forward by pressing the ground, and this movement is called slithering. हमने अभी क्या इसको पढ़ा था, क्रॉलिंग. क्रॉलिंग को हम और क्या बोल सकते हैं, स्लिथरिंग वे. how the snake moves, snake move in a slithering way. Next, about fishes. Let us understand about the fishes. They are the aquatic animals and have a flexible body. You can see they are broad from the center and narrow at the ends. आपको ये स्ट्रक्चर दिख रहा है, दे आर ब्रॉड एट सेंटर एंड नैरो एट एंड्स. सो ये आपको किसी तरीके की स्ट्रक्चर से रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है. यस, अ बोट स्ट्रक्चर. कैसा स्ट्रक्चर है, बोट शेप स्ट्रक्चर है. और इसको क्या बोल सकते हैं, इसको बोल सकते हैं स्ट्रीमलाइन शेप. द बॉडी ऑफ फिश इज इन ए बोट स्ट्रक्चर और स्ट्रीमलाइन शेप. दिस काइंड ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर हेल्प इज टू मूव in the opposite direction of the water waves also. They move via movement called swimming. They swim. Fish swim. Fish bends its body in a wave-like form. How they move? They do not move like this. They move swiftly like this, in a wave form. You can see tail goes in other direction. She is going in another direction. So this kind of a slight wave form में फिश बेंड्स इट्स बॉडी. इनके क्या है, इनके हैंड है? नो, दे डोंट हैव लिम्स. देयर लिम्स आर मॉडिफाइड एज फिन्स. दीज आर द फिन्स एंड टेल्स. फिन्स एंड टेल, दिस इज द टेल ऑफ द बॉडी. ओके. Fish has modified its hand limbs as limb structure as fins and tails that help her to swim and take turns and directions. Clear है इसकी movement? Now another animal that we will learn is birds. The birds have also the streamlined body structure. आप देख सकते हो, this is small, this is the wide part. So again it has the boat kind or streamlined structure that helps it to move in against the direction of air. And इनकी movement को हम क्या बोलते हैं, fly. Birds fly. So birds has hollow and porous light bone. इनका जो ये बोनी स्ट्रक्चर भी है, ये क्या है, ये hollow और porous and light bone से बना है. So that is why they have reduced weight. They have less weight. Because the bone structure is made up of hollow, porous and light bone. And इनके भी आप देखो, hands तो है नहीं, legs, they don't have limbs. Their limbs are modified into wings. And also tail. So they also has wings and tail. They have claws as their legs, but their limbs and the extra part is tail, and the hand limbs, the four limbs are converted or modified into wings that are attached to the chest bone. Wings only have a light bone structure, and they are just attached to the chest bone of the bird. So that is why they can fly by moving their bones or their wings into an up or down direction. Okay. क्लियर है, बर्ड्स के बारे में भी जान लिए. स्नेल, बर्ड्स, स्नेक, फिश, कॉकरोच, एवरीथिंग वी लर्न अबाउट द एनिमल्स. आई होप आपको ये पूरा चैप्टर क्लियर हुआ होगा, ये सारे कंसेप्ट समझ आए होंगे और इजीली अब आप इनको रिवाइज भी कर सकते हो. तो चलिए, इसी के साथ हम आज की ये वीडियो एंड करते हैं. अगर वीडियो पसंद आई है तो मेक श्योर यू लाइक द वीडियो, हिट द लाइक बटन, हिट द सब्सक्राइब बटन अगर अभी तक आप हमारे फैमिली से नहीं जुड़े हैं, एंड we will see in your next video.